Tonight, something ancient is awakening. Across the world you can feel it. A kind of pressure in the air. The weight of fear that sits on the chest of millions. Somewhere out there, right now, a family is hiding from a storm that has swallowed their home. A child is praying in the dark while the ground shakes under her feet. A man stands alone in a street filled with smoke, wondering if dawn will ever come again. We all have enemies. Some are human, many are not. Fear, injustice, poverty, jealousy, unseen hatred, whispered curses. The silent battles we fight when no one is watching. And tonight, yes, tonight, you are being called to make a simple, powerful gesture. A gesture older than kingdoms, older than written history, older than the first prayers whispered on earth. Put salt here tonight. Just a pinch. Just a moment of intention. Just a declaration that you will not be defeated. Because in times of darkness, humanity has always turned to symbols of protection. And salt has carried that power from the deserts of Arabia to the shores of Africa. From ancient civilizations to your very doorstep today. And here is the truth they never told you. When protection rises, aggression collapses. When you stand firm, those who wished to harm you lose their strength. When faith enters your home, fear is forced out. So watch carefully, listen deeply, because tonight, when you place that salt, every enemy that dares to attack you will beg for mercy. Not because of the salt alone, but because of the force that stands behind you when you act with intention, with clarity, with courage. Stay with me. Before this video ends, something inside you will shift. What is the greatest enemy you are fighting right now? Fear, injustice, poverty, bad luck, betrayal? Tell your truth in the comments. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Share this video with your loved ones, because this knowledge can literally change a life. Before you place the salt tonight, you need to understand something deeper. You are not the only one fighting enemies. The whole world is trembling under forces that look different from place to place, but feel the same in the heart. Look around the earth today. In one corner of the world, thousands of families are still climbing onto the roofs of their homes as floodwaters rise without mercy. Entire towns swallowed in a single night. Mother clutching their children while the water carries away memories, documents, photographs, everything that once defined a life. And yet, in the middle of the chaos, they whisper prayers of protection, small rituals of hope, because sometimes faith is the only dry ground left. Elsewhere, war has turned cities into ashes. A father walks through what used to be a marketplace, stepping over shattered glass and burned metal, searching for the one thing that matters, a safe place for his children to sleep. His enemy is not only the violence around him, but the fear inside him that tomorrow might be worse than today. In another part of the world, a young woman sits quietly in her room, feeling crushed by betrayal. Not physical war, but emotional war. Words that cut deeper than knives. False friends, toxic relatives, hidden jealousy. Invisible enemies that poison your peace and make your spirit tremble. She lights a candle, places a bowl of salt beside her window, and whispers, "Protect me from the ones who smile at me but wish for my downfall." Across oceans, another battle continues. Home being lost to storms, lands drying up under heat, families fleeing debts they can no longer pay, Young people fighting depression so heavy it feels like an enemy pressing on their chest. These are not abstract problems. These are living stories. These are real battles happening this very hour. And in every one of those places, someone is doing exactly what you are about to do tonight. Taking a small, symbolic step against the darkness. Placing salt. Invoking protection. Choosing to stand instead of collapse. Because sometimes, the enemy is not a person. It is the situation that tries to break you, the injustice that tries to silence you, the fear that tries to swallow you, the jealousy that tries to steal your blessings. Salt, in this moment, becomes more than a mineral. It becomes a declaration. You will not win. I am protected. I am guided. I am watched over. And this is where the ancient world meets the modern one. Where the struggles of today connect with the struggles of prophets, believers and ordinary people across history. Tonight, you are not alone. You stand with millions. And millions stand with you. If you or someone you know is facing a real battle right now, type "I stand with you" in the comments. Let's create a chain of protection. Which part of our world's suffering touches your heart the most? Natural disasters, war, betrayal, poverty, depression? Share your voice below. Now that we've witnessed the storms of the world, let us go deeper. Why salt? Why has this simple common mineral become a symbol of purity, protection, and spiritual clarity in cultures across continents? Salt preserves. Salt purifies. Salt protects. Salt stops corruption of food, of space, of energy, of intention. And in moments of fear, humans have always turned to simple things with powerful meaning: fire, water, earth, and salt. But the power is not in the salt itself. The power is in what you declare when you place it. You are saying, "Tonight, I cleanse what is heavy. Tonight, I protect what is fragile. Tonight, I stand against the unseen enemies that weaken my spirit." This symbolic act mirrors something much older, something found in the wisdom of the Quran. Throughout the Quran, protection is described not as a weapon in the hand, but as a light in the heart. When Prophet Moses, stood before the sea with an entire army behind him, he did not have walls, soldiers, or weapons. He had faith. He had intention. He had a declaration that sounded impossible. "My Lord is with me. He will guide me." And the sea opened. When Mary, was alone, terrified and overwhelmed, a voice told her, "Do not fear." A simple instruction, a spiritual command, a reminder that protection arrives the moment courage wakens. When the Prophet Muhammad and Abu Bakr hid in the cave, enemies inches away, one whisper could have ended everything. But the Quran describes something profound. Do not be sad. Indeed, God is with us. And the attackers passed by without seeing them. Protection comes when the heart shifts, when fear collapses, when intention aligns with faith. And tonight, when you place your salt, you are aligning yourself with that same principle. A moment of clarity, a moment of purification, a moment of claiming your spiritual space. Salt becomes the symbol. Your intention becomes the shield. Your faith becomes the force that makes enemies, whether human or emotional or psychological, lose their power. It is not magic. It is not superstition. It is a ritual of focus, mental strength, spiritual grounding, and remembrance. just like the prophets used simple acts, touching water, raising a staff, whispering a prayer, to anchor themselves in divine protection. You are using a simple act to anchor yourself in inner strength. And sometimes, that is all it takes for the enemy to step back. Sometimes, that is all it takes for fear to lose its voice. Sometimes, that is all it takes for the weight on your chest to lift. Tonight, your salt is your reminder. You are protected. You are watched over. You are not alone. Place your salt with intention, not fear. Intention transforms everything. Which Quranic story of protection inspires you the most? Musa at the sea, Maryam alone, the prophet in the cave, or another story? Share your reflection. When we look into the Quran, we don't just see miracles. We see human beings, frightened, exhausted, betrayed, cornered, just like millions of people on earth today. People who faced enemies far stronger than them. People who felt the shadow of danger on their backs. People who thought their lives were over, until protection arrived in a way they never expected. The sea and the army. A story still happening today. When Musa and his people reached the sea, they were trapped. Behind them, an army. Ahead of them, impossible water. Hopelessness from every direction. And yet, the Quran shows that the moment Musa lifted his staff, a simple physical gesture, the divine protection unfolded. Today, entire communities fleeing conflict feel exactly the same. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, hope wearing thin. A mother holding her child, running from violence, doesn't have a staff to raise, but she has courage. She has intention. She has prayer. And this too becomes a gesture of protection. Maryam, alone. A story of every woman who suffers in silence. When Maryam stood alone under the palm tree, overwhelmed, afraid of judgment and danger, she whispered, "I wish I had died before this." This is the voice of someone in deep fear and isolation. Yet God sent reassurance, calm, guidance, a miracle. Today, countless women suffer silently. Single mothers, women abandoned, women betrayed, women surrounded by problems they never asked for. Their enemy is not always a person. Sometimes it is shame, pressure, or loneliness. Maryam's story shows, being alone does not mean being unprotected. The cave. When the world feels like it has turned against you. The Prophet and Abu Bakr hid in a cave so small, so fragile, that any enemy could have seen them. But in that moment of fear, the Quran records a message that still echoes across centuries. Do not be sad. God is with us. Today, people all around the world sit in their own caves. Tiny rooms, shelters, hospital beds, refugee tents. Struggling financially, spiritually, emotionally, hiding from stress, danger, depression, or despair. And yet, the same message still vibrates in the hearts of believers. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. Ancient stories, modern echoes. These Quranic stories are not distant tales. They are mirrors. They show that protection does not always arrive with thunder and lightning. Sometimes it comes quietly, in patience, in a whisper, in a ritual, in a small gesture, like placing salt with intention. Salt becomes your staff, your act of calm in the middle of fear. Your reminder that protection begins inside the soul before it appears in the world. If you feel trapped like Musa, alone like Maryam, or overwhelmed like the prophet in the cave, write, "I claim my protection" in the comments. Which modern struggle resonates with you most? Fleeing danger, emotional loneliness, or feeling cornered by life? Share your story if you feel safe. Now that your mind is clear and your heart is awake, it is time to understand what this moment actually asks of you. Tonight's gesture is simple, but the meaning behind it is deep. The salt you place is not a spell. It is not a guarantee. It is a statement. A statement that says, I am reclaiming my space. I am cleansing my mind. I am protecting my peace. Here is what you must do. 1. Choose your place. Pick a spot in your home that feels symbolic. It could be near your door, your window, your bedside, or your place of prayer. Choose a place where your heart feels calm. This is not about superstition. It is about choosing the one corner of the world where you consciously declare, fear does not enter here. 2. Hold the salt with a clear intention. Before placing it, pause. Take one breath, one real breath, and ask yourself, what enemy am I releasing tonight? Is it anxiety? Is it betrayal? Is it poverty? Is it something within you or outside you? The salt carries your intention, not the other way around. 3. Place it with dignity, not panic. Do not throw it. Do not rush. Do not act from desperation. Place it gently. As someone who understands that strength can be soft, that protection can be calm, that courage can be silent. Even the prophets carried out their symbolic gestures with dignity. Musa raised his staff slowly. Maryam reached for the palm tree with trust. The prophet whispered in the cave with serenity. Let your gesture reflect inner steadiness. 4. Say your declaration. You may speak out loud or in your heart, but say something meaningful. I invite peace. I release fear. I protect my space. Or create your own phrase. What matters is not the words, but the clarity behind them. 5. Walk away with confidence. Do not stare at the salt. Do not check it every hour. Do not wait for something dramatic. Walk away knowing you have made a conscious declaration of strength and clarity, and that this alone already shifts your inner landscape. Your enemies, whether emotional, psychological, or situational, weaken the moment you stop feeding them fear. This ritual simply marks that shift. If you are doing this tonight, write, I place my salt with intention. What intention will you place in your heart tonight? Peace, strength, healing, release, courage? Share it below and inspire someone else. Tonight, as you place your salt, I want you to remember something essential. Protection is not only personal, it is collective. No one survives alone. No heart stands strong without the support of other hearts. And no ritual, no intention, no spiritual gesture becomes complete until it translates into compassion for the world beyond your walls. Look around the earth right now. Someone is sitting under a broken roof after a storm tore their home apart. Someone is scrolling through their phone trying to find news about a missing loved one. Someone is holding their child while fleeing violence. Someone is standing in a line waiting for water, food, or medicine. Someone is silently fighting depression so deep they can barely rise from bed. These people are not just victims, they are mirrors. They are reminders of how fragile life can be and how strong the human spirit becomes when others choose to care. And this is where your gesture tonight expands beyond your own life. When you place salt with intention, you purify your inner world. But when you extend that intention outward, through kindness, generosity, empathy, you purify something far greater. The spiritual law of solidarity. Every faith tradition speaks of it. The strength of a community shapes the strength of the individual. In the Quran, protection is often described as something God gives to communities that stand for justice, compassion, and sincerity, not only to individuals. Even the prophets were surrounded by helpers, believers, supporters. Musa had Harun. Maryam had divine reassurance. The prophet had companions who held the world together when times were darkest. Protection grows wherever people stand for one another. What can you do for others tonight? Maybe you cannot rebuild a home after a flood. Maybe you cannot stop a war. Maybe you cannot heal a whole nation. But you can do something. You can check on someone who is hurting. You can donate even a small amount to relief efforts. You can send food to a neighbor. You can message someone who seems distant. You can forgive a friend you've been arguing with. You can pray for someone who feels unseen. You can offer words that lift, not words that break. These small gestures may seem insignificant, but to someone drowning in despair, a single act of kindness is a lifeline. Your salt tonight symbolizes purification, but your compassion tomorrow symbolizes protection, not just for you, but for the world around you. This is how your enemies lose power. Not only because you protect your inner world, but because you help heal the outer world. Enemies thrive in division, silence, and loneliness. They crumble when people support one another. They collapse when hearts unite. They shrink when compassion spreads. Tonight, your ritual begins with salt. Tomorrow, your protection expands through kindness. If you want protection not just for yourself but for the whole world, comment, "I stand with humanity." What act of kindness, big or small, can you offer someone in the next 24 hours? Share it below. You may inspire someone else's miracle. Before we close this message, I want you to pause for a moment. Not to follow instructions, not to repeat a ritual, not to expect something supernatural, but simply to feel. Because everything you have heard tonight, the stories of the world, the courage of the prophets, the weight of fear, the choice to stand firm, all of it points to one powerful truth. You are human. And being human means you carry battles inside that no one else can see. So this is the moment where I turn to you. Yes, you, the one watching this screen. I want to ask you something real. What is the enemy that presses on your heart the most? Is it fear of tomorrow? Is it the silence of someone you love? Is it money running out? Is it the pressure of expectations? Is it loneliness? Is it betrayal? Is it your own thoughts? These battles are not shameful. They are universal. If the prophets themselves had moments of fear, then surely you are allowed to have them too. And this is why I'm inviting you to speak. Not to expose your wounds, not to impress anyone, but to open a door for healing, reflection, and connection. You might not realize it, but someone reading your comment could feel less alone because of you. Your story might carry someone through their darkest hour. Your words might become the protection someone else has been begging for. So take a breath, and if you feel safe, share your truth below. If you are ready to release your inner enemy, comment, "I choose healing." Which inner struggle are you ready to confront? Fear, doubt, sadness, loneliness. Share only what your heart feels safe to share. And now, we reach the final moment of tonight's message. You've traveled through stories of the world, through the struggles of humanity, through the courage of prophets, and through the quiet battlefield inside your own heart. And here you stand, stronger, calmer, clearer than when you started. Because tonight was never about salt alone. It was about you, your intention, your resilience, your ability to stand up even when life tries to break you. Your courage to declare, I deserve peace, I deserve protection, I deserve to breathe freely again. When you place your salt tonight, remember, it is not a charm, not a promise, not a miracle in a bowl. It is a reminder that you will not surrender your peace to fear, that your spirit is stronger than the weight you carry, that your heart is not alone, and that protection begins the moment you decide to rise. Look at the people watching this same message across the world. Different languages, different struggles, different wounds, but all seeking strength, peace, clarity. And in this moment, you are connected to them, a silent community, a circle of intention, a chain of hearts choosing to stand instead of collapse. So when you place that salt, breathe softly. Let your shoulders fall. Let the tension leave your face. Let your thoughts quiet down and declare, in your own way, tonight I choose peace. Tonight I choose clarity. Tonight I choose protection. And when you walk away, walk with confidence. Let your steps be lighter. Let your heart be steadier. Let your mind be ready for a new chapter. Because tonight is not the end. It is your beginning. If this message touched your heart, type, I choose peace. What is the biggest lesson you're taking from tonight's message? Share it so someone else can grow from your wisdom.